really hard to imagine. I mean, there's a concrete taxiway over here, so planes would have come along. Behind me is another taxiway that goes into what would have been a hangar base for a big plane. There would have been a massive hangar. That's long gone. Second World War, the only big flat area on the island really, was used as a big aerodrome. Base for planes to go out across the North Atlantic and take weather measurements, really critical during the Second World War. Apparently one of the planes that went off from here spotted the gap for the D-Day invasion and got the date right for that. So, you know, critical stuff, wartime stuff, but obviously made a huge impact on what was here in terms of the grazings, a lot of tarmac runways, a lot of hangar bases, huge change, but also some opportunities now that the planes have gone. It's all breaking up, and that's actually where quite a few of our nesting birds nest. So things like ring plovers, common gulls, sometimes terns as well, will use these areas to nest on, broken up concrete. We know the gravel's underneath, but it's vegetated over, so we need to get in with a plough, and that's where Mark Mitchell's come in very handy from our neighbouring island of Col. He's brought his tractor across. We are ploughing up a load of gravel that was dumped here probably 22, 23 years ago. So we need that gravel to come back up to the surface. And Mark here from Col is doing exactly that with his big tractor. Yeah, that's nice and sandy. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and up now, yeah. Sorry, I gave you the finger, Mark. I just went up. Yeah. This is looking really good. There's a lot more sand and gravel in here, and that's exactly what we need for the nesting birds. There's no mud in this at all. That's perfect. And that's exactly the kind of stuff that birds like nesting on, so perfect material. That was great, really good to see, and so quick. That's the joy of this. If it had been me on my own with a rake, I'd be here all day doing this, and probably longer, frankly. No, great to see, and also just to see what's underneath. So I knew that something had been dumped here in the past for nesting birds, and it's clearly a lot of sand and a lot of gravel. There's more mud than I expected, but that's okay. We can pull off some of the worst clods, so it doesn't just vegetate over really quickly. So now it's opened, we've got a lot more we can do with this, which is great. So there were oyster catchers here this year. Next year I imagine there'll be 2 or 3 pairs, maybe a few ring plovers here too. So ideal, they can use this as a base and then feed on the rest of these old runways.
It's a wader base.
It's a wader
base. From an
base.
airbase to a wader base.
Absolutely, yeah. We're talking about ground nesting birds, and ground nesting birds by their very nature are vulnerable to anything that's on the ground. So Tiree is very fortunate. We don't have foxes, we don't have mink, the kind of ground predators that can cause big problems for them on the mainland. So we don't have that, but they're still very prone to disturbance, to changes in their habitat. Disturbance around the coast is a particular issue. Tiree, like many other islands, has become a lot more popular, and rightly so. It's a lovely island, but it means it puts pressure on those birds that want to nest around the coast on the fringes there. And so places like the Reef are really important, where they can come, these birds can come, nest in peace and get lots of young away. It's really special, and it always amazes me because there is a public road running across the south of the reserve, and we never see people out here. They see the airfield and think, well, that's a no-go zone, and people don't come out, and that's a huge plus. All the birds that are on the reef you can see somewhere else on the island, and we encourage people to visit other sites through a leaflet, finding birds on Tiree, and leaving this place as a place for the birds just to do what they need to do.